In a kingdom nestled between mountains and forests, there lived a king whose rule was just and fair. His daughter, Princess Lyla, was known throughout the land for her beauty and kindness. However, she possessed a curious spirit that often led her into trouble. Deep within the royal gardens, there grew a sacred tree rumored to have been blessed by the gods. Its leaves shimmered with an ethereal glow that illuminated the night like stars in the sky. Legend had it that whoever possessed a leaf from this tree would be granted eternal happiness. One moonlit night, unable to resist her curiosity, Princess Lyla ventured into the garden and plucked a single leaf from the sacred tree. Mesmerized by its radiant glow, she tucked it away, intending to keep it as her secret treasure. But the theft of the sacred leaf did not go unnoticed. The king, upon discovering the missing leaf, was filled with grief and anger. He decreed that the perpetrator, whoever they may be, would face severe punishment. When Princess Lyla's secret was revealed, the king was torn between his love for his daughter and his duty to uphold justice. In the end, he decided on a punishment that would both teach her a lesson and secure the kingdom's honor. Princess Lyla was to marry Prince Oboso, the heir to a neighboring kingdom, whom she had never met nor cared for. Despite her protests and tears, the king remained resolute, believing that this union would restore honor to their family and kingdom. Reluctantly, Princess Lyla accepted her fate and prepared to marry Prince Oboso. On the day of the wedding, as she stood beside him at the altar, her heart heavy with resentment and sorrow, she couldn't help but wonder if her punishment was just or if it was a cruel twist of fate. Despite the weight of her forced marriage, Princess Lyla clung to the hope that the sacred leaf she had stolen held the key to her destiny. Each night, as she lay in the opulent chambers of the palace, she would gaze at the leaf, its gentle glow casting a soft light across the room. Prince Oboso, consumed by his own ambitions and desires, showed little regard for his new wife. He treated her with coldness and indifference, leaving Princess Lyla feeling isolated and alone in a marriage devoid of love. But deep within her heart, Princess Lyla held on to the belief that the sacred leaf would guide her to her true love, someone who would cherish her for who she was and not for the political alliance she represented. One fateful evening, unable to bear the loneliness any longer, Princess Lyla made a decision. Clutching the sacred leaf in her hand, she slipped out of the palace under the cover of darkness, determined to seek guidance from the mystical tree that had once held such allure. As she stood before the sacred tree, its branches reaching towards the heavens, Princess Lyla closed her eyes and whispered a prayer for guidance. In that moment, a gentle breeze stirred the leaves, and a voice, soft and melodic, filled her mind.
You seek the wisdom of the sacred leaf, listen with an open heart, and it shall guide you to your true love.
With renewed determination, Princess Lyla opened her eyes and allowed the glow of the leaf to illuminate her path. Following its ethereal light, she embarked on a journey through the kingdom, guided by a sense of purpose and hope. Along the way, Princess Lyla encountered challenges and obstacles, but she persevered, trusting in the wisdom of the sacred leaf to lead her to her destiny. And then, one day, as she wandered through a bustling market, her gaze fell upon a merchant whose eyes sparkled with kindness and warmth. In that moment, Princess Lyla knew. The sacred leaf had led her to her true love, a man whose heart mirrored her own. Over the next several weeks, Princess Lyla and the rich merchant, whose name was Oboka, met often. The princess realized that the merchant was a genuine man who was very kind and respectful. He listened attentively to her thoughts and feelings, showing a deep understanding and appreciation for her as a person. Princess Lyla discovered that she and Oboka shared many interests and values. They enjoyed engaging in meaningful conversations about a wide range of topics: art, folktales of their ancestors, culture, as well as their dreams and aspirations. Oboka consistently went out of his way to show Princess Lyla how much he cared for her. He would surprise her with thoughtful gestures, such as bringing her favorite fruits or sharing small tokens of affection that demonstrated his genuine feelings for her. Unlike Prince Oboso, who belittled and criticized Princess Lyla, Oboka offered unwavering support and encouragement. He believed in her dreams and aspirations, empowering her to pursue her passions and live life to the fullest. In a moment of flashback, Princess Lyla remembered the conversation she had had with her husband, Oboso, one time.
My prince, I just asked the servants to make me some bread. Would you like some bread yourself?
Is this the time to eat bread? Look at the time. It is like you usually don't think. Eating is all you think about, and that is why you are getting fat.
Oboka respected Princess Lyla's autonomy and never sought to control or manipulate her. Instead, he encouraged her to make her own choices and decisions, supporting her every step of the way, unlike the prince. Her mind went into flashback mode once more.
My prince, I have been thinking. I want to share folk tales with children of the kingdom. I can go to every province and share tales of our ancestors with children. This is something I am very passionate about.
To which the prince replied,
Have you no shame or class? A princess going round the kingdom sharing nonsense? It seems that all this sitting around and doing nothing has killed off some of your brain cells.
Through his words and actions, Oboso the prince made it clear that he disliked and disrespected Princess Lyla. Oboka, the rich merchant, had genuine affection for the princess. It was only a matter of time before the princess fell deeply in love with him. The merchant showered her with affection and tenderness, creating a safe and nurturing environment where she felt cherished and valued. While there might not have been explicit physical violence between the prince and the princess, Prince Oboso's aggressive behavior and intimidating presence created an atmosphere of fear and unease for Princess Lyla. It was not long before the princess returned to the palace and took a bold step. She confronted Prince Oboso and demanded an annulment of their marriage, citing his mistreatment and the fact that it was a forced marriage anyway. She wanted to follow her heart's desire. On hearing this, the prince was enraged, at least initially. Eventually he relented, and Princess Lyla was granted her freedom. Initially shocked and dismayed by Princess Lyla's decision to leave her husband, her father struggled to understand the reasons behind her actions. He found himself torn between his desire to see his daughter happy and his duty to uphold the traditions and alliances of the kingdom. Seeking guidance, the king turned to the kingdom's most revered diviner, a wise and ancient figure known for his deep connection to the spiritual realm. The shaman listened intently as the king recounted the events leading up to Princess Lyla's departure and the role of the sacred leaf in her life. With a solemn expression, the shaman nodded thoughtfully, his eyes shimmering with ancient wisdom. Your daughter's actions may seem perplexing, but the sacred leaf holds a power far beyond our understanding, he said in a voice that resonated with authority. He continued, Trust in the wisdom of the sacred leaf, for it is a beacon of truth and guidance in times of uncertainty. The leaf has led Princess Lyla on a journey of self-discovery and love, and it will continue to guide her on the path to her true destiny. Moved by the shaman's words, the king felt a sense of clarity wash over him. Despite his initial reservations, he chose to trust in the sacred leaf and its divine guidance. He knew that Princess Lyla's happiness was paramount, and he resolved to support her in her pursuit of love and fulfillment. With renewed determination, the king set out to reconcile with his daughter and offer his unconditional support. And as he embraced Princess Lyla once more, he whispered words of love and reassurance, knowing that the bond between them was stronger than any political alliance or tradition. Together, father and daughter stood united, their hearts intertwined with the mystical power of the sacred leaf, guiding them towards a future filled with love, happiness, and endless possibilities. People may not always understand the decisions you take, and that is okay. They don't need to.